Back here with another beer review on Cheer to Beers. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for a ton of beer reviews, well into the hundreds of my reviews. I got a ton of them, so check back in the older ones and see some reviews that you might not know I had. But on this review, we're checking out a Lagunitas brew called Brown Shugga, and this one actually wasn't brewed last year. I think they skipped a year on this one because of, either moving or some kind of demand or something. They just couldn't, they didn't have the capacity to brew this beer. I think they made the holiday Lagunitas Sucks Holiday Ale in place of this, which was great. And I think I actually might have reviewed that one. So check back, about a year ago during the holidays and see, check back in my reviews to see if I reviewed that. But this is Brown Shugga, so this is a pretty exciting thing because this beer has hasn't been around for over a year now, so I'm excited to get into it. A beer brewed with a lot of brown sugar. It's 9.9% alcohol, 51.1 IBUs. I've had this beer before. It's hard to remember because it's been so long, but let's get into Lagunitas Brown Shugga. On the appearance, it's just like you think it would look like if you put some brown sugar in some liquid. It's kind of this burnt brown, maybe a little bit orange color in there. It looks great. A huge amount of head because I poured it so vigorously. I love to do that into this glass. Let's give it a smell. There are some hops in there. I'm kind of surprised. I guess this is considered just an American strong ale, but some hops as well as some sweetness from the malt, but kind of an interesting smelling beer at first. Yeah, I'm definitely getting this pungent hop smell, and that's the biggest smell I get right up front in this beer. And then that sweetness comes kind of underlying, in the background of this beer. But overall, I'm getting a big hop smell. Here we go. Cheers. On this beer, it's very good. I'm surprised I remembered it, but the taste is very familiar. It's definitely hoppy, but not super bitter. It provides a nice hop taste, but then some sweetness comes through from the malt and that brown sugar used in this beer, and it comes together very, very well. Yeah, so hops come through, and the sweetness falls right behind it, and gets onto your tongue, and it's very pleasing on the palate. It's an overall good beer, very, very balanced. The alcohol to me is hidden right now, but let me sip on this one for a little bit longer, and I'll come back to my final thoughts, my rating on Lagunitas Brown Shugga. Okay, I'm back here with my final thoughts, my rating on Brown Shugga from Lagunitas Brewing Company. As I let it warm up, the smell just turned to straight alcohol. I kept sniffing it and just thinking, whoa, you get that smell that you would get from, like, if you just poured liquor in here. It just has a crazy, alcoholic smell to it. But the taste is kind of like what it was when my first initial sip. It hasn't changed a ton. It has that, but the hops are subdued. They're a lot less in the taste. And you get that sweetness that comes through. You can tell this is an American strong ale. It doesn't really lean towards a certain style. It just has its own kind of big taste to it. High in alcohol, very, very sweet, and a little bit of hops in there as well. Just a big beer all around. Kind of an interesting taste. I'm gonna give Lagunitas Brown Shugga an 8 out of 10. It doesn't have that 9 out of 10 taste or 10 out of 10 taste to it, quite yet. I think it needs, for me, Brown Shugga, I was thinking more of a sweeter beer, something that had that brown sugar really took center stage. I wasn't expecting too much hops in this, and then it didn't really deliver all the way like I thought it was going to. But overall, 8 out of 10 is a great score, and especially for the value. Six of these at 10% for $9.99, such a great value for this beer. I would gladly pick it up. And definitely probably age some of these to see what they do. I think the hops will fade and the sweetness will really come out. So might do a review of this one maybe next year around this time or 6 months from now, just to see, how it changed. But, overall pretty good beer. So, initially on this 2012 batch. So if you've had this beer, let me know, comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time, cheers.